Hey everyone, Nicole Russo in Kentucky and Dan Illman in New York, welcoming you to this edition of the Oaks Countdown. And we have some new names to discuss this week as we take a look at the current points leaderboard as we're getting toward crunch time to earn a spot in the starting gate for the Philly Classic. The new name you see toward the top there is Paris Lights, who is not currently an Oaks nominee, but who is sure to be made a late nominee by the August 15th deadline following her victory in the Coaching Club American Oaks, Dan.
It was only a matter of time, Nicole, before we saw a curlin' filly break onto this list, and she was very good in the Coaching Club American Oaks. She's one of these fillies that I think really benefits from the extra time this year leading up to the Kentucky Oaks. She's been flawless around 2 turns, and here she is. She traveled smoothly on the backstretch. She goes after the pace setter, Crystal Ball, who ran very well in her own right, and she digs down deep on the outside for Bill Mott to win it. Promising performance for Paris Lights, and I think both of these fillies still have some upside.
Well, Dan, I think you hit the nail on the head with a couple of points I wanted to make about Paris Lights. She's certainly a filly who the delay to the schedule is going to benefit. She's now won 3 straight races since the end of May, all around 2 turns. And, you mentioned her pedigree. We talk about Curlin all the time as such a standout classic sire. She's the first foal out of a Bernardini mare who's bred on the same cross as graded winner America. Bernardini is really emerging as a broodmare sire. This is the extended family of Kentucky Oaks winner Blush with Pride, whose own daughter, Better Than Honor, produced her own Kentucky Oaks winner in Rags to Riches, who was also, of course, one of her 2 Belmont Stakes winners. Just all kinds of class and stamina in this pedigree. I believe this filly is going to look next at the Alabama Stakes, where we could also see runner-up Crystal Ball, who you mentioned is a filly with a lot of upside. And I believe Antoinette, who finished 3rd for Bill Mott, is going to be nominated as well. That could turn out to be a key race for some of these lightly raced fillies.
Absolutely. As for Antoinette, I wonder if she's been a bit exposed at this level as sort of a grade 2 type. She ran quite well in the Coaching Club American Oaks, but not up to par of the top 2. And she's run okay in prior graded stakes races. I think in this sort of year where you have horses like Swiss Skydiver and Gamine, Antoinette's going to have to improve by leaps and bounds in a short amount of time if she's going to be a Kentucky Oaks winner. Tonalist Shape is a horse I think we need to discuss. Coming into the Coaching Club American Oaks, she was one of the highly regarded 3-year-old fillies. Just sort of a weird blinker move going in there. A filly that's been so consistent. I was surprised with an equipment change. She did not have a good trip in this race, Nicole, but I am concerned now about her true ability to go 1 1/8. I think she might be better 7 furlongs to a mile.
Well, I think we've had that discussion about her a time or two this spring, and I tend to agree. She certainly didn't have the best of trips. She was in a little traffic trouble around the first turn, but I feel with her resume coming into this race in a short field of lightly raced fillies, that it was the sort of trouble that perhaps she should have overcome and showed a bit of fight at least. I really am concerned about her prospects moving forward, not concerned about the prospects for Paris Lights and Crystal Ball, both of their stakes debut in the Coaching Club, and both of whom ran so well. They just really look like 2-turn fillies.
No, they look like 2-turn fillies, and again, they have that upside. Tonalist Shape, I wonder if we've seen her best race. She has run many times already. I think she's established a level for herself right now, and she's going to have to improve just a little bit. A couple of fillies that I think we do need to discuss down the road are 2 that showed so much ability earlier this year, then were sidelined with some physical problems. They are back on the work tab. Finite for Steve Asmussen, Donna Volusi for Simon Callahan. These fillies have a lot of talent. They're running out of time, but if they can get back with a prep, we might hear from them on Kentucky Oaks Day.
Yeah, and Finite, I believe, is high enough up on the leaderboard where she may have already secured her spot. I would just like to see if they find a prep for her, as I don't like the idea of her coming into the Oaks off a long layoff. She did get back on the work tab at Churchill Downs, which is a dirt track that we know she likes. So I'm going to be very curious to see sort of if the real Finite comes back to action.
Well, she certainly has the ability to do so, but right now there are 2 that are head and shoulders above the rest, Swiss Skydiver and Gamine.
Well, we'll take a look at the upcoming points races toward the Oaks. Just 3 opportunities left for fillies to pick up points if they're trying to earn their way in. Of course, if they have already earned their way in, we might see them in non-points races, just kind of taking the prep schedule that works for them. That's the case with Gamine, who is expected to go in the test at Saratoga, as she has already secured her spot in the Oaks field by virtue of her victory in the Acorn. A couple of other opportunities for fillies to try to earn their way in. The Alabama Saratoga, always a key race in the division, shaping up as a key prep this year. It's the final sort of major points opportunity. We'll expect to see some of these developing fillies and sort of last chance fillies in there. It also could be the final prep for Swiss Skydiver, Dan, as we're getting down toward crunch time here.
Yep, and Swiss Skydiver so game in the Bluegrass last time out against the boys, looking for that elusive grade 1. Something tells me she has a grade 1 in her one of these days.
Oh, certainly. She's too consistent not to. And, you know, with less than 7 weeks now till the Kentucky Oaks and the Kentucky Derby, we'll be keeping you posted on all of the developments as these final preps sort out in the final countdown. Keep an eye on DRF.com and DRFTV for all of the latest on the Classics Trail.